Joe Flacco has been around forever, it seems. But did you remember that he was in the same high school recruiting class as Jamarcus Russell? Was called a reach by NFL draft analysts, likes hanging out in his basement during his free time, spent his first 2 off seasons living at his parents' house. And that room had a Tom Brady poster on the wall. Had more rushing attempts than passes in his first college season. He actually punted in college and was once the highest paid player in the NFL. All this for a guy who has never played in the Pro Bowl. And there's still somehow more to this story. Here's all the things that you never knew or completely forgot about Joe Flacco. And that's coming up right after this.
Is Joe Flacco an elite quarterback?
You know what? I will let the fans answer that question, and I will let results answer that question.
Hey, you can ask me, dating apps suck. But there is a way to swipe that is actually fun and can be a net positive for your life. Introducing Red Zone Rush from Underdog. It's so simple. Pick the TD scores by swiping left or right, set it, and watch the cash roll in. There's also pocket presents for QBs and pick and roll for the NBA. Each one has a 20% profit boost. Right now, you can get up to $1,000 by using my code 5points at UnderdogFantasy.com. Let me show you how Pick'em works. In my opinion, the easiest way to play and win. You simply pick 2 to 8 stats of your favorite players and choose whether they will go higher or lower. And if you go 5 for 5, you can win 20 times your money. This weekend I have Dak going over on passing yards, Kirk Cousins going over on passing yards, and CeeDee Lamb scoring a TD because both these defenses are ass. So after this video, head to UnderdogFantasy.com and use my promo code 5points or hit the link below and get started right away. Again, you can please support this channel and my content by heading over to UnderdogFantasy.com and using promo code 5points and getting a first-time deposit bonus of up to $1,000. Joe Flacco was born on January 16th, 1985 in Audubon, New Jersey. He was a 3-sport athlete playing baseball and basketball in addition to football at Audubon High. There he became a 3-star prospect according to 24/7 Sports. This led him to be the 27th ranked quarterback in his class behind names like Jamarcus Russell, Chris Leak, Brady Quinn, and some dude named Ricky Joe Meeks. Now, you may remember Joe Flacco played college football at Delaware, but did you know he actually first went to Pitt? Coming out of high school, he was a 6'5", 200-pound passer who chose the Panthers over Rutgers. He spent his first year on campus redshirting before seeing action in 3 games in his second season. He threw 4 passes in those 3 games, only completing 1 and adding a 25-yard punt to his stats. During his time at Pitt, Flacco had more rushing attempts than passing ones. Flacco knew if he was going to make his name known, he needed the opportunity to play full-time. And the maize and blue-winged helmet came calling. No, not Michigan. Delaware, those copycats. This was back in 2005, so Flacco had to sit out his first year as a Blue Hen before taking over in 2006. That was a stupid fucking rule. His first year being a full-time college starter went so-so. Playing in the FCS, Flacco threw almost 2,800 yards with 18 touchdowns and 10 picks as the team went 5-6. Remember when I told you Flacco played baseball in high school? He wasn't just good, he was great. So great that colleges allowing him to play baseball were part of the recruiting pitches to him. But after the 2006 season, Flacco asked his coaches for permission to play baseball at Delaware, and they said no, saying Flacco had a career in the NFL. But how did they know when he was so mediocre? Entering his 5th year of college, the now 6'6" passer came into the year with little or no NFL prospects. But then, Flacco led the Blue Hens on a magical season as he threw for over 4,000 yards, leading his team to the FCS National Championship game against Appy State. However, the Blue Hens came up short. Doing enough work to establish himself as a real prospect, Flacco was invited to the 2008 Senior Bowl and NFL Combine, among other tryouts. There he blew away the competition like Matt Ryan and Chad Henne by throwing the ball 74 yards in the air. I keep talking about how tall Flacco is. Well, you know what they say about tall people. They have big hands. And that stood out to the Baltimore Ravens. They knew them, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Steelers all play in shitty conditions. And if they had a massive quarterback who could sling it in the wind and rain while taking care of the football, they could be working with magic. In the 2008 NFL Draft, the Ravens took Flacco with pick number 18, making him the highest drafted player ever from the University of Delaware and the first FCS quarterback selected in the first round since Steve McNair went third overall to the Houston Oilers in 1995. I bet you did forget about that. Flacco made an immediate impact on the Ravens his rookie season, taking a team that went 5-11 in 2007 to the playoffs, finishing 11-5. During the playoffs, he became only the third rookie quarterback in NFL history to win his first postseason start, before becoming the first rookie quarterback to win 2 playoff games. Eventually, the Ravens lost to the Steelers, but the Joe Flacco star was born. From 2009 through 2011, Flacco took the Ravens to the playoffs each season, ultimately winning their opening playoff game each year before bowing out of the big dance. During these seasons, he helped turn the Ravens into a powerhouse, going 12-4 in 2010 and 2011. Now let's be honest, it helps a lot when you have Ray Lewis killing it out there alongside Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, Hey Holdy Nada, and others. Plus, he had a lethal run game on offense behind Marshall Yanda, Vonta Leach, and Ray Rice. I wonder whatever happened to Ray Rice. 2012 was going to be a different type of season for the Ravens no matter what. Their longtime owner and founder Art Modell died 4 days before their first game of the season, and it would be Ray Lewis's last season with the team. Coming into the season, Flacco was ranked number 74 on the NFL Network's top 100 players list, but was still overlooked by many in the league. In April 2012, he told the New York Times he thought he was the best quarterback in the whole NFL, besides Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Aaron Rodgers. It might have been tongue-in-cheek, or it seemed like he was being facetious, but that year, he was elite.
Is Joe Flacco one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL?
Without a doubt. What do you expect me to say?
Flacco let his balls talk on multiple occasions this offseason, reportedly turning down a $16 million a year deal from the Ravens, feeling he could earn more. Speaking of Brady, Flacco spent his first 2 NFL off seasons at his parents' house in New Jersey, where he shared a room with his brother who had a Tom Brady poster on the wall. Staying with your parents is actually pretty smart. You never know what can happen in the NFL. After beating the Colts in the wild card round, Flacco was set for a tough matchup with the Denver Broncos. The team was a huge 9-point dog coming into the game, but the Flack Cannon wasn't worried. Trailing in the fourth quarter, down by a touchdown, Flacco connected with the late Jacoby Jones for an insane 70-yard reception. The miraculous catch is now known as the Mile High Miracle and is universally accepted as one of the greatest plays in NFL history, or one of the greatest blown coverages in NFL history. Eventually, the team prevailed in double overtime, setting Flacco up with an AFC Championship game in New England. And you know what? Flacco stomped the Patriots 28-13, meaning maybe he was right in calling himself one of the best in the league. Heck, that year he beat Peyton Manning and Tom Brady on the way to a Super Bowl. You remember that this was the first Super Bowl in NFL history that 2 brothers coached against each other, with fans dubbing it the Har Bowl, the Hardy Har Bowl. We all know the Ravens won the Super Bowl, but Flacco made an amazingly calm and cool throw to put his team in position to win, and his defense did the rest. Overall, he threw 11 touchdowns and 0, not one single interception in the postseason this year. I forgot about that, tying a postseason record with Joe Montana and Kurt Warner. Coming off his record-setting year, Flacco was a free agent, and it was time to shit or get off the pot for the Ravens. And they anteed up, making him the highest-paid quarterback in the entire league at the time, signing him to a 6-year, over $120 million contract, which sounds like chump change now. And then he pretty much was never at that 2012 level again. He had the worst statistical season of his career following the signing. He threw more picks and touchdowns for the first time in his NFL career, throwing 10 more than he had ever had before in a season. The Ravens missed the playoffs. Now, I've talked about how good Flacco has been, but have you noticed I haven't said the word Pro Bowl? Through his first 7 seasons, Flacco never actually played in the Pro Bowl. He was finally invited to the 2015 rendition of the game, but turned down the opportunity because his wife was popping out a kid at the same time, aka a Tuesday for Phillip Rivers. And now with 17 seasons under his belt, he still has never played in a Pro Bowl. In the following 3 seasons from 2015 to 2017, the Ravens meandered around 500 with Flacco playing average, so the Ravens decided to draft Lamar Jackson. Though that move did work out, a lot of people forget that Lamar and Joe overlapped. But Ravens fans do remember as Lamar epically struggled in his first playoff game, and it looked like Joe Cool should at least get a shot to be out there while still in purple. He didn't, and they lost, and he was then traded to the Broncos. After acquiring him for a 4th-round pick, Joe started and played in 8 games for the Mile High team before suffering a neck injury that ended his season and made him need surgery. After getting the procedure, he started the backup mode phase of his career, signing a deal with the awful New York Jets to mentor Sam Darnold. He might have been a good mentor, but he sure wasn't a good football player in New York. In fact, as a Jet, he was 1-8 as a starter, and that one win was a miracle comeback win. Once again, another team came calling for Flacco to be a mentor, this time the Philadelphia Eagles for their new toy, Jalen Hurts. He never got to suit up for the Eagles though, and the gangrene wanted him back, I guess. So I also completely forgot that he was an Eagle. At this time again, he had very few memorable moments besides getting placed on the NFL's COVID list. For the first time in his NFL career, Flacco was homeless for the 2023 season. It was looking like Joe Cool's career was finished. He tried out for the Inside the NFL TV show, and as Ryan Clark would later say, he didn't get the job, and that sure was a good thing.
Flacco actually tried out and auditioned for Inside the NFL, which I host on Tuesday. I'm glad we didn't take it.
Following a season-ending injury to Groper Cleveland in late November, the Browns signed Flacco to their practice squad. But he didn't just have practicing on his mind. He was named the team starter in Week 13 and never looked back. Flacco became the first passer in NFL history to throw for 250 yards and multiple passing touchdowns in a player's first 5 games with the franchise, as he led Cleveland to a 4-1 record in those games, reaching the playoffs. There he made his first playoff start in 8 years against the Houston Texans. The team lost badly, but it was about the fact that Flacco just even got them there. For his effort, Flacco was named NFL Comeback Player of the Year over a literal guy who came back from death, becoming the oldest winner of the award in 60 years. He himself was humble in accepting the award, saying he felt weird about it. Despite his great play, the Browns elected to stay with Deshaun Masterson and let Flacco go. These days, Flacco is backing up the very tired Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis. Well, now he's the starter, and he's already played in 3 games, and he could play the rest of the year. Could Flacco lead another team to the playoffs this season? I guess you'll have to find out. Whatever happens, it will truly be unforgettable.